take a moment of silence and recognize the passing of Dickie Dajna. He's definitely a community staple for us, and just sad to see him go. And if anyone was at the funeral, that was one heck of a funeral, let me tell you. It was amazing. So, just like take a moment of silence for Dickie, if we could, please. Thank you. Can we stand for the pledge, please? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Supervisor Barron.
Yes.
Councilman Barber.
Here.
Councilman Carter.
Here.
Councilman Coyer is absent. Councilman Tulaski is absent.
Okay, I just need a motion to accept the minutes from the February 4th, 2025,
2026.
regular monthly board meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from February 4th, 2026, regular monthly meeting.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Okay, you do, board members, you do have a copy of the monthly financial report to look at your leisure. So far, everything looks in order. It's all going well, so hope that take its place. You have one person addressing the board tonight. Jerry Farrell is going to address the board and the participants at the meeting. So Jerry, if you want to stand up and go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what's it all about.
Okay, well, first of all, that's my high school science teacher, Freeman Supler.
He was
All
mine
right.
too.
Yeah.
Debbie Coyer.
Over, yes. So my name is Jerry Favreau. I am president of the board at Clinton County Historical, and I'm also chair of the America 250 Committee for Clinton County. And we have a lot of events planned for the year. I'm trying to get out, I am going to get out every community to deliver a banner and to talk to the boards and the historians, because America 250 is more than just the American Revolution. It's about 250 years of our history. And most of us, were here, and when Benedict Arnold was the hero at the Battle of Valcourt. And so anyway, what I would like the towns, if they're doing, we're not asking anybody to create something new. I understand you're going to have a dedication of the Veterans Park this year. We would like to make that a America 250 event. And all that means is that I'll help you to promote it.
Good.
I'll go to it if I can, and it's just to help to get the word out, make it kind of inclusive for the whole county. I don't know if you were aware, but the year before, the pump house was our ornament at the museum, and it was extremely popular. We almost sold out of it. I'm not sure if we only have maybe 2 or 3 of them left, but I knew it would be because I pay attention. I'm a Facebook addict. I get the papers and I paid attention, and I knew that area and the pump house in particular was kind of on the front of everybody's mind because of what was going on. And it was very, very popular. So what we try to do at CCHA is we want to make sure that people understand that we are a county museum. We're situated in Plattsburgh. We're not a Plattsburgh museum. And we focus, there are 16 arts and history museums in Clinton County, and most of them have, like the White Mountain, they have their own story to tell. We try and tell the story of the whole county as much as we can. And we have some new exhibits right now. We'd like you to come and see one of, we redid our military gallery. We also have America 250 that's the Battle of Valcourt. And then we have another exhibit that's going to talk about women, Native Americans, and indigenous people at that time. We have a wonderful wedding gown exhibit. Wonderful. Everything came out of our out of our collection. We have a transportation, and it covers, everything from Cherubusco to Rouse's Point to Dannemora. We try. I can't say we're 100%, but we try. So what I put on the table in front of you is, and I gave Bill a few copies, this is some of the ideas that this actually was done, this part was done a couple of years ago. And the dates are all good in there except for museum days, it's only 1 day instead of 2, but everything else is. And the little insert is a little bit of an idea of what we have going on this year. Our biggest event's going to be the weekend of October 9th to the 11th, which is going to be the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Balfour, which is on the 11th is the actual battle. We're going to do it at City Beach instead of the actual site, because if we did it where it happened, nobody would be able to see it. So we're working with the city in order to get it there. We're going to have boats. Right now, Craig Russell, his plan was for 32. Right now, he's got 20. One of them is actually coming from the state of Washington. He's got 4 coming from Fort Ticonderoga. He's got some coming from Delaware, Washington's Crossing. And the problem that he's running into is that the Canadian boats don't want to come. And we understand that, and we work around it. It's still going to happen. It may not be as many boats as he had planned, but it's still going to happen anyway. And we're hoping that we're keeping a running calendar so we don't try to not have conflicts, all year. So, and being such a small area, it's really hard not to have some things to overlap.
Mhm.
So anyway, we had a grant for $40,000 this year, and one of the things that the grant had in it was money to purchase banners for each municipality. That's 14 towns, 3 villages, the city. We bought one for the county, one for us, and we actually gave one to Valcour Brewing because they're going to be a host for a program that we're going to have on Friday, and they will also host reenactors if it comes to be. So anyway, each municipality gets one of these. We ask you to put it up someplace.
You sure will.
Wherever. Some of the other municipalities are designing their own banners. This one here is a little nicer than some I've seen that are cheaper, but it also is a little more expensive. But some of the other ones, Morris, Peru, Champlain, are all designing their own and going to buy them through some of the local vendors. So this is for the town of Leonora, and if I could get a picture with some of the board members.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, super.
Stay right here in front.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, just, I guess,
Want to stand up here?
sure.
We all barely.
So, can you see me? I'm almost the short one. So,
Yay.
hey. Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
That's nice.
So, really
The
appreciate it.
hardware is all there.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, yeah,
Well, it's pretty durable too.
it is, yeah.
Double stitch.
Yeah, it's good. Northeast Printing is the one that.
Nice.
And the logo was designed by Kate. So I only ask if you do a banner, that logo only has to be this big. If not, it's not a big deal. So it's, anyway.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I can find my way back.
Why don't you take 374 right to the end and then you'll be. Thanks for making the trip.
No, well, we had a 3:00 meeting, so.
All right, we'll move into our next order of business. Anyone wishing to speak on non-agenda items? Non-agenda items. Anybody? All good? All right, move on. Next order of business resolutions, but item A, we really need to put on hold. I did get a list of the February bills and, knowing some of the things that, going on inside the town, the bills weren't accurate. There were some discrepancies, so I told Brooke, I said, we're not gonna make a motion to approve bills that don't have the exact amounts, the way they should be presented. So we're gonna put those bills on hold, for this month, because like I said, they're inaccurate. I do need a motion, we talked about in the last meeting that we had some surplus items to get rid of, and it's time to move that process along, so I need a motion to, move the surplus, town items that we identified into a sealed bid process, which will end March 26th at 12 o'clock PM.
I'll go ahead and make the motion to move forward with the surplus town items ending March 26th at 12 o'clock.
We gonna set some values or something?
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about that, we are gonna set some value, we're gonna set some minimum bids, but, we wanna start getting this, we gotta put a notice in the paper, we wanna start the process, and over this next couple days, we're gonna do all that.
The minimum bids doesn't have to be, it's not gonna be in the paper, it's just gonna have a sealed bid.
We'll have our own sealed bid process. But,
So,
we
you
got
guys
some-
can make up a decision on how much you want for your
Except
seal.
for box and sander.
That's brand new?
Yeah.
We have some reserves on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, we're not letting that stuff go for a minimum bid. If we don't let it, we'll just let it sit there and do it again.
One second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you all. We're moving to old business, and the agenda's actually quite late this evening, but it is a lot of info share. So, let me go through each one of these. The Lime Mountain wastewater treatment plant project, is on schedule, it's going well. We do have some back-ordered, pieces of equipment that, we thought it'd be in by now, they're gonna come in another month or two, which is, it's all about the supply chain, nothing to do with the supply chain, it is what it is. But the negative part of this, information I'm sharing is that, as you know, we had a pretty large environmental spill. Don't know the exact amount of kerosene that got puked in the ground, but we know it's a minimum of at least 400 or 500 gallons that got put on the ground. And was really, it fell on Danforth, was a contractor. They did install a brand new pump, and when they installed the pump on that Friday afternoon, they never got with Pat to say how he wanted the pump to be left in the state it was. Pat always ran that pump for the last 7 years in
Nice.
the manual off position. And the contractor left it in the open position, and when he left it in the open position, somehow it cycled, and it pretty much dumped the entire reservoir on the ground. And to tell you the size of the amount of excavation that needed, when it was all said and done, they needed 2 pieces of equipment. The excavator they brought in was too small, it couldn't be done deep enough to dig the rest of the contaminated soil out. They had to bring in a bigger piece of equipment, which they should have brought in to begin with. But all said and done, our guys on their own filled in the hole, and the hole, the size of the hole, took 20, so if you know we got the white 1-ton truck here with the dump box, that holds 4 yards of material. It took them 28 loads to fill that hole, to show you how deep that contamination went in the ground. And so, well, how does that process work? Well, they bring it, they sift it, they look at the residual that's in the material, and then it gets sent to Glens Falls and put through an incinerator to burn off. So we haven't seen the cost of the project yet. There is some negativity. I was going back and forth between, I guess, me and being the senior engineer. They said, basically, you guys got some skin in that game too. I said, no, we don't. And they said, well, our attorneys will settle it. And I said, that's fine with me. I said, we got all the information, documentation we need to show that your guy screwed up, and we got the pictures to prove it. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully they don't go that route. Luckily for them, they did have an environmental rider on their contract. So when that stuff happens, you automatically go after the rider first before anything else happens. So I know Northeast was talking to Danforth, saying really you don't want to go down that road with the town. You need to suck it up and pay the what it takes to do that. So Still waiting for the fee to come through, we haven't seen it yet, and I asked for it last week, and it wasn't yet prepared. So I'll just give you an update on that. Mike was here yesterday, item B, Mike was here yesterday to help Brooke close out the books, and still found a couple of issues of concern that, and they're not big, they're minor. You know, Brooke is new at doing the books, and Mike is just fantastic at walking her through that learning process. So there are some items that they found in a couple of areas that Brooke needs to clean up, and he said when you get done cleaning it up, call me back and we'll finish going through the book. So that's where we are with the books. Town truck issue. Originally, what number 3? What's the number 3 truck that has the issues?
4,
4?
oh.
Yeah, it's the automatic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
would be number 3.
number 3. So that truck had some considerable damage done to it. We don't know how, but it wasn't from the employees that we have today. It was prior employees. And we had to order two stabilizing rods and an H block, and those parts were about $3,500. Then we noticed that the blade was torqued, and the blade was like another $5,000. So all in all, we got a break on it because we ordered everything new at once, and then we got the shipping bill. And the shipping bill to ship that stuff here was over $1,800 to ship it here. That's without the blade. The original cost without the blade was $500. When the blade got tacked onto it, was $1,800. So you got to give kudos to our 2 town employees, Brandon and John. We talked about it. Mark and I and the guys all talked about it in the shop or in my office. I said, guys, I can't see paying $1,800 to go get that piece of equipment. It's in Rochester. So they left early in the morning and jumped in the truck. And they ran all the way down and got that piece of equipment and come all the way back the same day. And I think the total expense with fuel and meals and everything was like $300.
Perfect.
So you can't ask for better than that, to be honest with you. But now the truck's fixed and it's in good shape, right, Mark?
Yeah, we're ready, it's ready to go.
They said once they got the new blade on, they said it's picking up about another 3 feet of material from the road. So the truck's in good shape now. Phoenix Tailings. Phoenix Tailings is an organization that is just interested in some of the fine aggregate that our sand pile has. And they were supposed to send us something in the mail regarding them taking more tests of the aggregate. Never got it, so I don't know where they're at with it. Either they left it alone or what, but they were calling me, and all of a sudden it's just dried up. So we'll keep that one on a hold so you can see where it goes. Comprehensive plan, as you know, we started a comprehensive plan back in 2025. When we got involved in the comprehensive plan, we got about 2/3 through the plan, and the state had actually changed the questions in the plan from the original template that we borrowed from Chesterfield. So when we started seeing the additional questions and the information that the state wanted for the comprehensive plan, it really got to the point where it was over our head, and we had to put a hole on that grant process. So we got back with MG Engineering. I've been on the phone call to Jackie Hakes, who was the main spokesperson for MG Engineering when we originally did the comprehensive plan in 2025, and so she has now said, listen, you got like half of it is done to the point where it's in pretty good shape. We're going to see what's part of the plan of the grant process the state changed, and we're not going to charge a full cost of doing the grant. We're only going to charge you what's going to cost to do this part that the state changed that you didn't know nothing about. So there's going to be a little money going on, maybe a couple thousand for this, but the grant's got to be done by the end of July. We get notified in October of whether we get the grant or not, but it allows us to start that process of understanding where some of the key things that this town's got to focus on to keep it solvent and to move the town forward and further into the 21st century. So more to come on that. Definitely more to come on that. Couple Technology is another firm that is interested in our sand pile. And they sent me a letter and they sent me a shipping label and wanted me to put 5 pounds of our aggregate into a bag and ship it out to them, so they wanna analyze. And once they analyze it, they're gonna give us the breakdown of what's in that aggregate. But what they're looking for is only sizes from 2 millimeter to 5 millimeter. And I don't know why, they haven't really said what it was for yet, they just wanted to get a sample, and from there, they'll get more in touch with us, so more to come on Pebble Technology.
Are they like the other company and would probably take some of it and leave the rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Would they take it from different sites too? I mean, I get the idea that, you know, in different areas, you might
Yeah.
get different.
yeah, for sure, so there's more wait and see on that, because I wanna see what they're going with that. On some other issues that I have some action items to do, one of the things I had to do was call NICEAG pertaining to the Wilfred King Road. That's a painful process, let me tell you, to deal with NICEAG. Painful. Did get in touch with them, told them that we got some trees that are, next high windstorm, are gonna probably fall on the power lines and knock out power to that Wilfred King Road, and I'd like to get someone up, take a look at it, and, the response I got from the lady I talked to today, like, to reaffirm where we're at, she says, well, we really need some 911 addresses. We really don't wanna send an arborist up there and just willy-nilly go down that road. I said, okay. I said, I guess I can get you some of that. Well, when you get those 911 addresses, give us a call back and we'll send an arborist up to see what we gotta do to take care of the trees on the Wilfred King Road. So, if there's any other trees that you to see, Mark, in your travels, just, if there's a 911 address near it, just let me know and we'll start pinpointing
Okay.
where those trees are, so they know that take power out to our community, so.
But I
That's,
still don't know, who put the red X's on those trees.
well,
I don't
Been
know.
on for years.
I don't even, I don't know.
yeah, that's all I had on others, so any other old business anybody would like to bring up for tonight's meeting? Yeah.
Just in case it's not on the new business, how did your meeting go with the meet and greet?
Actually, it's
It is
on
on
there
there.
on new business.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, my
No,
apologies.
no problem, no problem. All right, new business, so a bunch of supervisors, were able to meet with, Mike Cashman, and this was, let me tell you, was an excellent meeting, by the way. There's no doubt, Mike Cashman is coming out of the gate, just full bore on what he's trying to do to help our community. But let me tell you some of the hot points that came up in that, conversation with Mike Cashman, NICEAG rates. It's the hottest topic in the county. The hottest topic in the county, no doubt about it. And basically, he said, the Public Service Commission is not doing their job. They're basically approving things that should not be approved for NICEAG. They don't have any safeguards in place regarding, the fee structure. He said it's a daily problem with all the rates in the district, the 150 district, which he represents. Which is the size of, I didn't know this, that our 150 district is the size of Rhode Island. I didn't realize that. So, he said there hasn't been an investment in the infrastructure for almost 30 to 40 years. And now all of a sudden, NICEAG wants to raise those rates. He said that we gotta do all we can to sell somehow, he said, I don't know how you can do it legally. He said, but no way should one of our most powerful electrical companies in the country or in our area be owned in Spain. He said, we gotta get that company back into American hands. How you do that? I don't know how you do that. NICEAG is gonna meet, well, they've already met on the 2nd of March, because there's a lot of people in Plattsburgh that are complaining about their rates other than, the city rates. Some of the other things he brought up, he said we really need a good handle on understanding solar storage, and making a law that we're not using up all of our agricultural fields to put solar panels in. He said really it doesn't hurt it really does an injustice to our agricultural community. He's somewhat cautious about battery storage areas. We have a proposal that there's a possibility of a battery storage area going over where the substation is, just past the second railroad track. But he said, please be careful of that. There seeing some other issues in other places. We've done our homework on that pretty good though, and from what we see, there is actually positive from those battery storage areas. But again, it's all about doing your homework, doing it the right way. And before anything gets put onto our town property, we'll make sure that the right due diligence is taken care of. This next item I got to tell you about is kind of disheartening in a way. So it's all about childcare. Governor is proposing universal childcare for the state. There are some pilots that are coming out to cover the state, but on this next little note, the governor has decided not to leave out the North Country out of those pilots. Just let you know that. They're finding that the aid model that's currently in place is extremely unfair. It's one-sided, highly political, and that there's studies now being done to understand just where the unfairness is and what they can do to get it back into a better fair state. But pretty sad that our North Country was not involved in any of the pilots for the child care. Supervisors meeting with the county highway, that was another interesting meeting, by the way. The county highway, as you know, we have county roads that the county pays us a stipend to plow those roads. And if you look at the manpower we put in, the fuel we put in, insurance we're able to put in, at the end of the day, we really don't make any money plowing the county roads. We just don't. We just don't. And so we had a good meeting with the new administrator, and Carl Weiss was there, who's the chief road engineer for the county. And we went back and forth quite a bit. Basically, Tim Napper was the lead person because he's got an awful bug with the county. We know some of the roads that Saranac has for sure. But one of the things they weren't adjusting anything to do with the fuel cost. So once that certain fuel cost gets bid and put in place, if it goes up, nothing happens. We still get the lower price. And granted, his argument was, well, if it goes down, we don't change it either. But it's still something that was a concern to us because typically in the last year and a half, the fuel prices have been clicking up, and we've not had been adjusted for that. There was two legislators at that meeting, and I can't remember the name of the legislator, but he came up with a really good idea. He said, I think we need to break the 6-month winter process in half, and the first 3 months see what happens, and if we see the fuel prices go up for the next 3 months, then we make an adjustment so the towns don't get hurt. Because really, and he said it, but as clear as I can say it, for the towns picking up the county roads and these outlying areas, it's doing the county a favor. Definitely doing the county a favor. So there's a lot of DOT state language that they're trying to understand and move through, especially how you sand properly and what material you use and how much you put on the roads properly. A lot of town highway superintendents are there, basically stating their claim on how the state is not sanding roads properly. And I brought up an example where just outside of my house, I watched a state truck go down, plow blade down, wing down, salting. And car went by, I looked at the clock, next truck came by, 3 minutes later, 3 minutes. State truck, plow down, wing down, basically scrape what that first truck did 3 minutes beforehand, and put some more salt down the bottom, behind it. So I actually called up the state in Plattsburgh. I said, can you help me understand why the guy's doing that? And the answer I got, it relates to called the drying effect of the road. I said, really? That's a good answer. I said, is there any chemistry involved in that? And he couldn't answer my question, so yeah, I don't think we can do it, to be honest with you. So anyway, there's more to come on this because there's a lot of townships that are complaining that they're not getting the right amount of money back to the towns that are picking up these county roads. So more to come on that. Mountaintop housing. I got a call from Mark Hamilton. He's one of the lead people for Mountaintop Housing, and this call was a call to basically say we're going to have a future problem with Mountaintop Housing. And he says, and I didn't, some of the stuff, information I didn't know that the rental fee for mountaintop housing is $600 a month. 14 of the 18 housing units are filled today. He said right now, the cost for $600 for mountaintop housing does not sustain or maintaining the overall building. He says the parking lot is in dire need of repair. It has an old boiler that needs to be repaired. They've invested roughly $35,000 into that building, with not having any profit margin coming back from it. They said that the water and sewer bill was $20,000, and for the second breath out of his mouth, was there anything that the town could do to lower that water and sewer bill? Just got to know that. They said, we're gonna just give you a heads up, we're looking at probably selling the property. Is it something that's gonna happen tomorrow? No. But we are thinking about it, and I did not know that the Plattsburgh Community Housing actually owns the building. Didn't know that. It's managed by Mark and his group, but the Plattsburgh Community Housing owns the building. And they are talking that the building is starting to fall in disrepair, and they really got to do something. And they said, is it going to happen tomorrow? No. It's going to happen next month? No. But just letting you know, down the road, we're looking to see what we can do, either to make that building better, or raise the rates, or we sell it to somebody else.
There's no, used to be it was subsidized, and it's on a sliding scale that the people got. I mean, they're not eligible for Section 8 or something of some kind of subsidy for the people that live there. Used to be. That was when I was first started.
Well, I think, a lot of it relates to the overall age of the building too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to, that building's getting old, and
The sewer was always, sewer and water was always an issue, and it is high, but
yeah. So anyway, I just want to put that out there, that I did have that phone call with Mark Hamilton. Listen, very respectful person too. Wasn't pointed any way. Just say, Joey, just want to give you a heads up. That's all we're doing. It's okay. I appreciate that. I did meet with Northern Shoring. That wasn't a very long meeting. Basically on Northern Shoring, our anniversary date ends on 6/21/26 is the expiration of our policy. So basically, I just went down and introduced myself to the two people that we work with, Bryce and Ashley. And he asked us if we're doing cyber training, and I said we are. It's mandated that all employees or people that work for the town have to go through mandatory cyber training. We have, I think, 6 or 7 gone through already. There's another 8 or 9 classes happening throughout the rest of the year, so we just got to make sure all of our people in our town go through that the cyber training that's happening. But basically, it was just to know who's going to be who to meet, who's going to be representing us for our policy that's going to start again 6/21/26. Boiler issues. Boy. We've had a lot of boiler issues. So the boiler that's in the building now was put in June of 2010. And I can't tell you how many times we replaced a lot of parts in the boiler. It's still failing. Actually, there's a whole very small hole that burnt through the chamber. When it burnt through the chamber, it took out close to 9 signal wires that shut down the entire boiler. And so they found that, they repaired all the wires, got it back going again, and for the last 2 or 3 days, it's neither not me or it's the guys in the shop. We have to keep cycling off the boiler. It goes into an E76 fault, and it just shuts down. Once you recycle the boiler, it pops right back on again. Finally, I told him, I said, listen, you gotta get a tech down here. I said, we can't keep doing this. I said, luckily the weather's warm. So they came down and we really got a good tech that's coming, helping us out. His name is Greg, sharp kid, and he found a process switch, micro switch, that I think was just failing. And he did find one in Plattsburgh. The boiler that we were told today is made by TDI. And he said, you got another probably 2 or 3 years able to get parts for it. He said it is failing, and, he said, you can see the chamber is getting very weak. He says, I recommend that you start looking at, pricing a new boiler for the town office. So we had a guy come in, yesterday. He did a survey of the building, and, that boiler runs at 400,000 BTUs. And, most of it's in-floor heating. And we did a lot of checking of the system. So what he's proposing is that TDI is really not your high-end boiler, it's sort of mid-road. He's recommending that we switch boilers and go to a Will McLean, which I totally agree with. I think there are a little more money, but you get what you pay for it too.
Years ago, when this building was being built, Debbie had suggested going with geothermal from the missile silo, because we had it right here. And it is a very efficient way to heat. What about looking forward to that? I mean, I know we got a couple years down the road, but what if we get like grants or whatever and maybe switch over to that, which would probably be more efficient?
Well, we can look at it, but we don't have a couple years down the road with the boiler. That boiler will probably fail this
I
year.
mean, maybe talk to Debbie about it, because she did all the legwork. You know, I thought at the time, I thought it was a great idea. But certain people on the board
I don't know much
were
about.
ignorant about it, you know.
I know nothing about it, so we gotta get some more.
She did a lot of legwork on it. It'd
Okay.
be interesting, you know, for you to maybe look into that just in case.
Yeah, one of the things that the guy did say though, he says, I think your boiler's a little small for your building, especially when it's cold here. He says, what I recommend is that we put a 2-stage boiler system in. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, you'll have your primary boiler, will run the building, but when you have that, we had 2 or 3 weeks ago, that week of below zero, a secondary boiler will kick on to help out the primary boiler, and then when the heat gets where it needs to be, the secondary boiler shuts down, and the primary boiler takes over. So he's gonna do some homework on that for us. He's been all around our ductwork, and we're gonna see what else he can find, but it's something we're gonna have to look at for this building is a new heat source, so. We have failing gate valves, and the reason they're failing is, these are carbon steel bolts, they're not stainless steel bolts, and we had a gate valve fail, just above the post office, and it took Pat a while to find it. That's why you saw the notice for boil your water, because it dumped a lot of water. And Ed Garrow came up, it's Ed Garrow, right? Yeah, Ed Garrow came up and helped us replace that valve. He had valves in the truck, and basically said, you're not the only town that's having this issue. He said they're seeing it in 3 other towns. These systems were installed in the early 80s, and he says they are failing. It's because of these carbon steel bolts that are failing. So something for us to look at in the future. I already got a hold of Liz Tedford to see what we got to do, if there's any grants available to look at our water underground infrastructure, and to see what's out there. Liz made it very clear. She said you can't piecemeal. You won't get a grant for a piecemeal. The only way you're gonna get a grant is for a total water replacement. So more for us to look at, but she's gonna do some more homework on what it's gonna take for these gate valves, or what you gotta do to protect these gate valves. But it's just another headache that we're seeing from time over time, that these systems that were put in place in the early 80s are starting to show their wear, and they're popping these bolts, and when they pop the bolt, seal breaks, and then a ton of water gets flushed. So I just want to give you a heads up on that.
You're facing that same issue in District 2.
Same thing.
Those 2 issues we had 2 years ago, those 2 breaks.
Yeah. And I don't understand why, again, I don't have a plumbing background, but stainless steel has been around for a long time. I don't know why they didn't put stainless steel on the ground, but those are the ones that are failing. Okay, next one, item G, is a supervisor community outreach meeting. So it was basically a pilot, and I had my first meeting last week at the fire station. Did I get a big turnout? No. Did I get some new faces? Yes. And that was mainly the main reason or cause to put myself out there to meet the community. One of the members even said, you know, I know where the town hall is, but, you know, 5 o'clock at night, really don't wanna get out of the house and travel down to the town hall in Shady Lake. And, you know, and this individual is actually from Shady Lake, by the way. But, lasted an hour and a half. A lot of conversation, mainly on my end, but we shared a lot of information. Lana was there, Guy was there, Judy was there, and, at the end, I thought it went well. I don't know if Judy or Lana or Guy, you wanna comment on it?
I think it was great, it was informative, very much so, especially for people that do not attend the meetings on a regular basis. We come every month, like you know, and I heard some things that I think may be more extensive, what you were speaking of, you know, went into more detail, and that was helpful. It's all good.
Judy, any comment?
Off to a great start. I do, I think the concept is a great one. You mentioned to me when you were driving me home, because my car was broken, that, you know, nobody else is doing that, in any of the other towns around. And, I think it's really setting the tone for how you want to run things here. And
Well-
I think it's only gonna grow, and people are only gonna get more interested and more informed.
Well, the more we can embrace our community and what's going on in the town, the better off we'll be. My next one I'm gonna hold on the other end of the town. So I'm gonna probably get down by the library, I'll probably do that next month, we'll put a notice out on it. The webpage was done very, very well, I wanna thank Becky for helping me out with the webpage. The guy did a good job on,
Zach Nabby.
yeah, did a good job on getting that out there, and, you know, the illustration he did I thought was perfect. So the next one is gonna be held on the other end of town, and, we'll try to get the library, as the meeting place, and just see what else we get on that end of town, so, see how it goes. So with that, that's new business. Any other new business anybody like to bring up this evening?
On your webpage, do you post the minutes from every meeting, or could there be a email group? Just hit a button and send them out to anyone who might be interested?
There's a YouTube page. It's on the minutes page, and then all the minutes do get put on there. If you would like them emailed to you, I can absolutely email. Just give me your email.
Yeah, sometimes if you get a group and just,
No, I don't have anybody actually requesting because they're all on the website. But if you want them, give me your email. You'll have them as soon as they're edited.
Actually, I do have one more item, under new business. This just came out today, just got it today. DEC is announcing a nuisance wildlife control operator exam. What is that?
Oh, what?
So the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation announced a new online exam for those seeking to become licensed nuisance wildlife control operators. To provide enhanced access, DEC is offering the examinations online and also free of charge. As part of our ongoing efforts to enhance the customer experience, DEC is proud to offer these free examinations online. DEC Deputy Commissioner for Natural Resources, Catherine Petronas, said in a press release, this process makes it easier for individuals to meet examination requirements, apply for a license, and take part in helping others safely respond to situations where wildlife is damaging property or has become a nuisance. The nuisance wildlife control officer is a person, has to be at least 18 years of age, who is also authorized to take and trap, transport, and release wildlife wherever the animal becomes a nuisance, destroys property, or threatens public safety. Licensed individuals can conduct these activities for commercial purposes or even as an employee of a municipality. Applicants are not required to be a resident of New York State. 2-hour exam is completed at any time between 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and the dates for these are March 13th, April 17th, May 15th, June 26th, July 17th, August 14th, and November 6th. So just something just come out today from DEC, just passed the word. I don't know. Something else to go with.
Can you copy that?
Okay, that's all I have under new business.
Can I have that?
Need more stuff like that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have a couple things.
Okay.
Until you read that last thing, this will be under old business, but, that young lady that was here a few months ago that talked about, our leash law.
Yep, Jennifer Jewett?
Yes, pertaining to animals being left out in sub-zero temperatures. Did the board ever decide anything on that?
No, and I'll tell you why, I was pretty much hands full with the spill. And, but I did, look at, there's 5 towns that have upgraded their, leash law. And actually Jennifer called me today, said, hey, what's going on? I said, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I apologize, I did not do anything. I said, I've been really full hands-on with the spill we had at the wastewater treatment plant. There was a lot going on with that, there every single day just about. I said, but it is on our agenda, and we will look at it to see what we can do to upgrade, or if we decide not to upgrade, leave it as it is. And she did mention in today in my phone call that the city of Plattsburgh is gonna upgrade theirs now, so.
Okay. Second, have you met with any of the people in Light Mountain concerning the bus issue? Like Ellie Green with her project in the school?
So, I have not, and I gotta call Ally, cause she was away on vacation.
Mhm.
I gotta call Ally because I did get a letter, an email from Superintendent Knight that they looked at the proposal.
Mhm.
When I left that meeting 2 weeks ago, there was pretty much a vocal agreement that we get 2 or 3 board members, 2 or 3 parents from Lime Mountain, and I would mediate Ally's proposal.
Mhm.
So, and then he asked for the proposal, and I wouldn't give him the proposal, because I had it in my hand the night of the meeting.
Right.
I said, I can't give you the proposal without Ally, who was the author, not being there to explain the proposal.
Exactly.
So, somehow, he got that proposal. And I'll tell you why, because he sent me an email explaining the points of that proposal.
So.
So I need to get a hold of Ally and say, Ally, did you meet with Knight? Or somebody had to meet with Knight, because he sent me bullet items about the proposal that she had.
And what did his response seem to towards?
2/3 of it was, we're gonna pretty much stay in place, but they said there were a couple points that Ally made that they're willing to look at and maybe adjust.
Because I follow the Saranac bus